So basically right now we're just going to keep an eye on it. They're just using some of the high tech in our Skyfox to point out to the folks at home where that suspect is. But that was the that's where he is, and you go a little bit wider, you can see where the car is. And the law enforcement, the officers, like I said, they're going to have to clear that car first. And I'm not even sure if they know that we see him, but it's how can we tell those officers what's going on.
Yeah, no, it's still obviously a very dangerous situation until the suspect is actually in custody, because at this point, Stu, they don't even know whether this person is armed, and so the assumption has to be that perhaps he could be.
Well, officers are all law enforcement, especially when you're dealing with somebody who's racing around in a stolen car. They're going to take that. They're going to take that idea that that person is armed. You can see those officers right now clearing that vehicle, and as far as we know, they have no idea. Look, there's some damage on that front windscreen. I wonder what happened right there. Maybe he hit a fence or something when he went up onto the curb. But you can tell that they have no idea that that suspect so close by, but just out of reach for those officers right now.
Well, we should tell you that actually we are trying to get in contact with LAPD right now and at least give them whatever information we have so that this can be resolved quickly and safely and without any harm coming to the suspect or to anyone who might not know what's going on here in the area.
Right.
It is so lucky that we didn't see any crash. This driver was traveling at incredibly high speeds just a little bit ago, and we saw multiple close calls with other vehicles at a time where there weren't that many cars on the road. That was just how fast this driver was going, Stu.
Brooke, that was amazing. Hang on, they're asking me what kind of pickup truck that is, Brooke. That's a Chevy, an older, like a 2000 Chevy crew cab with a shell. And he's right underneath. But yeah, Brooke, you know, that vehicle was moving so quickly, and it was breathtaking a couple of times. Just made my blood run cold when he ran through those major intersections. We saw it, the green lights, those vehicles just flying by there, and this guy getting so lucky. But every time, there we go, officers locating that suspect. Every time he was making a turn, he was taking it too wide. We had a couple of close calls with other vehicles there. You can see officers right now got their lights on that suspect. I don't think he's going to pull it off that he was just sleeping there all morning. What do you guys want? So hopefully they got that fence between them and that suspect. It's going to be a little bit difficult for them to actually get over that fence or onto that property to take him into custody. But right now, officers definitely have located that suspect after a wild pursuit this morning. Extremely high speeds and many, many close calls. And of course, with this weather we're having, we might not have rain, but those roads definitely were damp. And you saw how that car was kind of sliding around every time he tried to take a hard turn. So very lucky nobody was injured. Hopefully, and that's the thing too, he did take a pretty hard fall. Jumping over that fence. Hopefully he doesn't have any broken bones. That's being the suspect, that is.
And we're getting a better look at the fence now because of the officer's lights. I can totally see how that wasn't easy to jump.
Yeah. And you know, of course, the hope here is that the suspect will adhere to the commands of the officers there on the ground and will follow them closely, and this can be resolved peacefully. But he doesn't even seem to be moving at all at this point.
Yeah, I think he's doing, you know, if anybody has a cat at home, it's like when you're talking to your cat, sometimes they just ignore you. That's kind of what I'm getting right there. This guy's just laying there, just ignoring the officer's commands, like, you know, maybe they just don't see me. But clearly they do. They're gonna have to get him out from underneath that vehicle. This might turn into a longer situation than we'd expect, unless they bring a canine over here. And also, you notice how the officers haven't made any approach onto the property.
Sure.
I'm just wondering, these guys have got their eyes on him, but I'm wondering if other officers have made their way onto the property, maybe coming around the other side of the pickup truck. Justin,
well,
if you can get a little bit of a wider shot, we can see if they're actually on the property.
Since they still don't know whether this person is armed or not, I mean, this has to be, I would imagine, approached very cautiously.
Very cautiously indeed. And I'm sure they're giving him some sort of directions, like, you know, let's see both your hands, move them slowly, slide out from underneath the car, anything like that. But you see this guy just laying very still down there. There is a there is a possibility that maybe he's not talking. Oh, I think he is talking to the officers. He is talking to the officers right now. So hopefully that they're going to get him to slide out peacefully. There you go, one hand moving out, but it's the other hand that they can't see. That's what the issue is for these officers right now. There we go. He's starting to slide out from underneath the car on his own steam.
Mm-hmm.
As soon as officers see the other hand.
Yeah, that's what they want to see right there. There you go. And it seems like he is cooperating now. There you go. But now, again, he's on that side of the fence, and officers have to get onto the property to cuff this suspect. But at least he is cooperating. And again, thank goodness nobody was seriously injured in this crazy pursuit this morning. Stolen vehicle on the freeways and then onto the streets out here in the south central Los Angeles area.
It appears he's going to come to them.
Yep, there he is. He actually walked over to them. Officers are taking him into custody right there. They probably were able to open the fence up and walk onto the property. There's a little bit of a tree. Again, it's dark out tonight, and this morning, and we have those. We've got a little bit of fog. Might be creating a little bit of an issue, but there you go. Suspect in custody, and again, no injuries. And there's so many close calls, though, this morning when we watch this pursuit. That's for sure.
All right, well, this is the best of all possible endings, of course, with at this point, it appears no one is injured except perhaps a minor injury to the suspect when he jumped over that fence. Stu, thanks so much. I appreciate it, and we'll be back right after this.